You know, what I have discovered out there, I don't really spy with my eyes. I just kind of see and behold out there in the world around me. I see a lot of people that are fucking paranoid. I think I'm paranoid. You know, they're too fucking suspicious. They're suspicious of everything. You know, and I get it. You know, if you turn on the TV, the news is blaring about the common criminal that's going around. You know, there's those murder porn mysteries about, you know, the 3 ways and or 4 ways and people jacking each other for, you know, insurance, or, you know, people meeting up and scamming each other and spamming each other, and behold, the world just seems like a dangerous place. Well, yeah, it is when you walk dangerously in this world. But if you walk with heart and you walk without fear, then you're just here. You know, if you put your mind to it, your heart to it, your spirit to it, your body to it, then you don't have to walk in fucking paranoia. Okay? If you keep logic about you and you walk the right way, you don't have to worry about falling into no fucking traps. Okay? And my biggest pet peeve now, and I used to be like that because I was kind of raised like that, is, you know, I was taught as a young female that I couldn't do anything outside of a male. You know, I had to have a male over me. And, you know, and now that I have, you know, built on my own and gone on my own and been on my own and realized, you know, yes, I need others for support and help and things like that. As I get it, give it, but I don't need anybody above me. I don't need a God. I don't need a man. I don't need a woman. You know, I don't need a king, queen, whatever. And, you know, it is so frustrating dealing with, you know, my past self, you know, as others and as I see others around me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope they go through their transition. Once you have gone through shit in this world and you have had to sit there and face your adversary and you've had to face your own stupidity and your own ignorance, and you stop repeating cycles, and you stop having fear. Okay? I still get scared in this world when it comes to things that are unknown to my body. You know, I do my best to put healthy things into my body and walk the right way in heart, mind, spirit, you know, and in body. And, you know, but I'm not paranoid. You know, I say right now I'm not paranoid because I'm not going in this world in perversion. I'm not being greedy. I'm not being gluttonous. I'm not being manipulative. I'm not trying to scam or spam people. I'm not trying to cheat. I'm not trying to cut corners. You know, I am walking the best of my ability and purity and being genuine about who I am. I'm not putting on someone else's clothes and trying to be like them. You know, I'm not sitting there saying that, you know, I'm good because I praise a certain God, or, you know, no, I'm not doing any of that. You know, I'm walking my straight golden path and I'm not being paranoid. I'm not afraid to walk in dark alleys. I'm not afraid to climb mountains. I'm not afraid, and I'm not full of fear. However, I do have common sense, you know, and I don't, you know, if I don't have the proper gear, I'm not going to go fucking climb a mountain. You know, if there's riots going on, I'm not going to go into the alleys or the streets, you know. There's a difference between, you know, being fearless and just being stupid. You know, just because you're fearless doesn't mean you go run into the streets when the lions are roaring in them. You know, you use wisdom as you go about. You know, fearless doesn't mean you go start a fight with people. Fearless means that you are willing to face the world and not be paranoid that everybody's out to fucking get you. I don't think everybody's out to get me because I'm not out to get anybody else. I also don't act entitled. So, and I'm not weak. Those who are paranoid about others, you know, coming to rob them or take from them or hurt them in any way are weak-minded. They are. And those that are always angry are weak-minded. You know, they're always angry at others. Why are they angry at others? You know, they're weak-minded because they have no self-control. So to all those that say, I think I'm paranoid, get over it. You know, yes, there's dangerous holes and snares around every fucking corner. But come on now. If you've been in this world at least as long as I have, and I still think I'm young, then it's time to get over the paranoia. It's time to put on your fucking big boy panties or big girl panties or briefs or whatever the fuck you want to wear. Put on your boots to wade in the bullshit and just go about it. You know, I run into people my age that are too fearful to break out of their fucking boxes. They don't like their jobs. They don't like their families. They don't like any fucking thing about their life, but they sit still brooding and angry about it. Nobody says that you have to fucking be still. And they're all crucified. You can tell they're Christians because they bear that cross, even though they don't fucking have to. Look, if you're staying in a relationship just because you think you have to, you ain't fucking doing nobody no favors. You don't have to do anything for any fucking body. You're not obligated to anybody. You know, yes, if you made a promise or a vow and break it, you will go through your tribulation. We all have to face breaking vows, contracts. We all had to pay our debt one way or another. We don't get away with shits in this world. But I thought that was something I needed to express because it was a fucking pet peeve. Is all those fucking paranoid people out there, you know, that hide behind others, that won't get out of their fucking house because they're fucking scared. Okay, I realize if you're a hermit and you're just like, I don't want to fucking go out in the world because I've had a fucking enough of it. But if you're afraid to leave your house, then what is the point? Because if you ain't living life to how you want to live it because you're too fucking scared, then what is the point? There's no honor in being a coward. At all. So anyways, that's what I gotta say about that shit. My day today was a good day. I had some setbacks because last night I had pain. Anyways, and I was sitting there writing because I use, you know, my Facebook as a journal to write about pain, about mental pain, physical pain, spiritual pain, and emotional pain, and I've been through it all. And, you know, I've come out the other side, and I got over a lot of constipation about, you know, the truth about things, and now, like, the pain I face is more in body, and I don't think it's mind. You know, I think pain in body, it's, you know, when you first start experiencing certain things, it's hard, it's a little scary, but as you go and you've dealt with a little bit, then it gets easier. Emotional pain, hell, I was introduced to that as soon as I popped out of the vagina, so I kind of, that started, I think it was about 42, I started dying to all that, you know. Now I just kind of have that heartache, you know, when you feel it. And, you know, I have some spirits that come to me and say I'm cold, but I'm not cold. It's just I'm not interested in their stupidity. You know, I have a lot of spirits that'll come, especially male spirits. You know, I don't understand how they can be outside of the flesh and still be so fucking perverted. I'm like, you know, I don't get it. But I'm not cold. I just don't want to deal with the stupid male mind that's perverted and full of perversion. You know, where they're talking sexually, and I'm like, I'm not into that shit. You know, if you know, when I'm with my person and I haven't been with someone that I wanted to be intimate with in such a long time, then there is that freedom of, you know, being, you know, free to talk, you know, intimately and kind of be, you know, playing around, playful and flirtatious, and, you know, exploring each other's boundaries. However, if it's not someone that I want to be close to intimately, then I don't want to fucking talk to them about that kind of shit. I don't care what kind of being they are. You know, I don't care if they're a god of man, or, you know, an outer space being, or a spirit, or what they wrote Shakespeare or whatever like that. You know, spirits never get over themselves. Like, if they did something in the flesh and that their name was praised or whatever, they carry that like forever. Like there's something. I was like, you know what? That happened a long fucking time ago. Get over it. I don't understand that. You know, it's not that big of a fucking deal. You know, people sit there and, you know, the human race does that, period. Like, they'll build statues to somebody that, you know, lived 500 years ago and they, you know, accomplished something. I was like, big fucking deal. That was one moment in history. You know, big deal. What are they doing now? Rotting away in their grave. You know, they're not doing anything. Why build up and hype up just one moment or just one person? You know, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the hype. I don't get the hype over the God of Man anymore, because, you know, I've met men and I've met women, and their gods are nothing to be praised or worshipped. I mean, that's just the truth of it. Why keep hyping up shit that doesn't need to be hyped up? You know what needs to be hyped up? Love. Love needs to be hyped up. You know, peace, harmony. You know, all that is goodness, really. That needs to receive more hype, you know, and be more focused on, you know, goodness. You know, the environment needs to be hyped up a little bit more, keeping it clean, purifying the water, having clean air to breathe. You know, what maintains life, that needs to be hyped up a lot more. Not man and their kind, not the gods of man, not politics, not religion. So yeah, and you know, those women that watch that murder porn mystery, they really need to pull their heads out of their ass. They really do. And I've been all over, and I've met the bored housewives, and I think that is probably the weakest mindedest group of women there is. The biggest sheeps and goats out there is probably the women that are too busy watching daytime TV, because it just eats at your fucking mind. So stop fucking watching that programming. It's not doing any good. Everything you watch on TV or on your phone or whatever, you're channeling spirits. And when you channel something, those spirits land on you in negativity, and they land all over you, and they cover you, and they eat at your mind, your heart, your spirit, your body. And I notice as I go around, more women, because, you know, I'm not dogging women anyway, but I notice that they're pale. You know, they're not good in body. Look, we all go through shit. Okay, I know I have. But you can't keep on channeling what is not good for you. Turn off the fucking TV if all you're watching is people killing each other or doing each other in. Watch something fucking positive, or go for a walk. Go to the fucking park. Pick up an activity that's positive. Paint, read, do something good. You know? That's just the truth of it. There's a lot happening in this world, and it's called a purge because the spirits are rising. And when you're not spiritually sound, the demons and devils rule over you. And that's just the truth of it. So if you're paranoid, that is going to draw in the worst of the worst to you, because you're calling to it, because you're telling them you're weak. And so they're going to come to feed off of you. So, whatever. And all those perverts out there that keep on, being whores and whoremongers and sluts and whatever, you're going to call to the worst of the worst. They're going to come eat at your skin. It's not going to be STDs anymore. It's going to be bugs. Bed bugs are all over the place. The spirit was really talking to me about bed bugs. And I was like, you invite bed bugs to you. You do. You invite them to you. And the lands are just going to be filled with all these insects and just creatures that, creepy crawl and are venomous because people are calling to them. I know this summer I was sitting there, I had scorpions all in my cabin, and that was because I was playing a victim basically to my daughter, because she, I was feeling bad because, she was ignoring me, and, so I was playing victim to that. I was having a pity trip, and basically all I did was invite venomous creatures to sting me. And now, I love my children for who they are, but I don't invite them to fucking sting me. And if they don't want to, give me love, then so what? And I say to those out there, quit fucking being paranoid over the unknown. The unfucking known, that they're paranoid over it. They're scared of every fucking thing. Every movement scares the fuck out of them. Yeah, why? Because they have anger issues. So they're hateful towards others. They're casting stone at each other with their words. They're not doing anything good, so they're paranoid. So if you're paranoid out there and think that other people are striking you, then stop throwing stones and striking them. That's what I gotta say. Anyways, I'm not paranoid. The only thing I really have fear over and I'm scared is my body. Like, just the shit it goes through. I'm like, it's hard to deal with. The pain, the inflammation, things like that. Like the other night, I don't know if I discussed this in my video before, but I woke up in the middle of the fucking night and my whole body was like, I was like, my legs had fallen asleep. And I don't like it when my body falls asleep. It just feels fucking weird. Like, as in, it feels heavy and you can't really move any parts of your body. And you have to, you're trying to move and it's not really moving. So you're just kind of, and it's heavy. Hell, if I had to get up fast, I'd be fucked. Like, I'm like, a house could be burning around me and I'd be like, couldn't move because my body fell asleep. And I'm like, what the fuck, body? And I do my best, okay? Like, I drink my water and I take my vitamins and I do my best, and my body is still trying to, fuck with me. And I'm like, why? I love myself. I really do. So I just like wonder what the fuck is going on. But it's not because I'm paranoid. It's because I don't know what the fuck's going on with my body because there's not a manual. And when you go to the hospitals or the doctors or whatever, they don't fucking know anything either. They're just trying to fucking throw a pill at you. So you're like, what the fuck's going on? And they're just like, oh. And they try to give you some weird fucking diagnosis that they give every fucking body else. Like, I talked to other people and they're like, oh yeah, they said I had that. And I was like, how the fuck do you have the same diagnosis as me when you don't even have the same fucking symptoms? And we're not going through the same things. If I'm eating healthy and I'm exercising and I'm doing my best and I'm not, being shoving bad things into my body or whatever, then how the hell is somebody else having the exact same shit as I'm having? That's just not fucking possible. Okay? That's not fucking possible. And that's what I say. I'm not going to feed into this, group mentality that, I have what others have. Okay. I don't believe, there's a difference between a fucking cold, okay, and spreading germs that way. But there's also is if I'm not living the same lifestyle as somebody else and, I'm eating a certain way and I'm drinking a certain way, then there's no way in hell that someone that is way heavier in body and that isn't taking care of themselves is having the same fucking issues I have. I just don't fucking believe that. You know why? Because I'm not fucking paranoid. And I'm not trying to compare my body to other people. You know why? Because I'm fucking awesome. That's what I believe. And yes, I might ramble on about different things because there's a lot of stuff going in my head, but at least there's stuff going through my head. And that's what I say. At least I have a thought process. And I'm not sitting there watching murder porn mysteries or the news and saying, oh my God, they're all coming after me. Because you know what? They're not. The other day, my mom had this black bag over her window. She's been paranoid over the neighbors looking at her. And and we live out in the fucking country. It would take a lot for someone to come to our windows and look through it, okay? And of course, on the outside, she's got, it's more of a clear plastic, but it's not transparent. It's hard, you'd have to be right there to see through it and still you'd be distorted. And I told her, I was like, Mom, we're not fucking model pretty. I mean, I love myself and I think I'm sexy, but there's, if people are, trotting through our yard with the snakes and shit like that, and they have to go through the mesquite trees in order not to be seen to get to our window in the first place. If they're going through that much fucking effort to see me, then I actually want to meet them because I don't have anybody that I know is making an effort towards me. So I was like, if they're making that big of an, effort just to peek through my windows, then I want to meet their ass because apparently that takes a lot of dedication. It really does. And it takes big balls to do that. That's what I say, to have a stalker, at least I would give them, I would sit there and talk to them. I was like, why the hell are you stalking me? Are you just trying to see the female form or do you really want to get a glimpse of me? Am I really that spectacular to you that you just want to be close to me? And wouldn't that be awesome? To have someone go through all that trouble just to see me. I mean, I don't have that. Like, I've had men sit there and throw money at me, but they didn't do much to make that fucking money. They were cutting corners, lying, cheating, whatever, being contractors. I know all about contractors, and I know if you're a male watching this, you know all about contractors too. Believe me, they ain't worth the pay they receive, and the shit that they build ain't worth it, but they get paid a whole hell of a lot. And so if I have someone that's sitting there working, and persevering and going out of his way for me, I would think that was pretty damn impressive. And I would want to talk to them about what was up. So, I do hear like the celebrities crying over their stalkers, and those people that are obsessed with them, but they go after those people that, give them a shitty relationship. And they're like, oh, boo-hoo, they cheated on me. Well, fucking go for the one that thinks your shit don't stink or is digging through your shit trying to get to know you, you know? Hell, put some effort. I do. I want that effort. You know, I had the spirits come to me and they're like, well, this person is, you know, they're not for sure. They're afraid of rejection and blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? When it comes to those that want to be a part of my life, I'm not playing a fucking guessing game at all. You know, if they're not for sure, if they're afraid of rejection, then they're not going to go very well with me, because I am very truthful. And, you know, if they're easily offended or easily scared off, we're not going to mix very well at all. And plus, I don't want a timid ass person. I want a good lover that knows how to explore me, that can have intelligent conversation, that isn't afraid to step outside of boundaries and boxes. You know, that's why I'm so fucking tired of paranoia people. The perverted, you know, the people that talk perverse are always talking about fucking sex are the worst lovers out there. I'll give y'all a heads up. I don't care if you're male or female. If they're sitting there talking about sex all the time, they are a shitty ass lover. They are not in tune with anything, and they just are talking about sex for attention. They don't know how to explore the body. They're too busy trying to use their words so they can seem important. And that's what it is. Someone who's a good lover is a doer. They're going to sit back, they're going to study you, and they're going to think about all your little crevices and creases. I know, I did. I just haven't had someone wow me in a while. And that's what I say. You know, that's what I want. And that's what I say to the spirits out there. You know, they come and talk to me all the fucking time about stupid shit. And I was like, what does it even matter? You know, you wasted this life. Why do you think you're going to get another one? You know, really, they're waiting for their second life, but they wasted this fucking life. They were lame in the life that they had. And they think that just because their name was praised among men or women or whatever, they're going to get a second life. They didn't walk in love. They walked in greed and pride and ego and all this shit. And they think they're going to get a fucking second life. And they don't even have bodies, but they have the audacity to come to me and talk sexual things to me. And I'm like, I'm not fucking interested in y'all's dumb asses. Let me sit there and say that to y'all. Spirits out there. Y'all little fucking dumbasses. I'm not interested in y'all. And they'll come to me like there's some kind of great thing because they were big in man societies. Big fucking deal. You know, the human life is just a small speck on a grander, eternal scale of things. I don't consider human life anything that great. Just in my short years, I've experienced much magnitude. I don't even know why, because I look at others and they haven't experienced what I have. And I have just all at once. And it's a lot to fucking take, too. And then I have these little insignificant beings come to me, and they think they're just great because their name was praised, or they were a certain class, or they served, or they had a certain title. But they ain't nothing. They would make terrible lovers, terrible companions. They have no love to give. So I'm not interested. And especially those little fucking paranoid fuckers. I'm just tired of assholes, especially in the spirit world. You know, they condemn and judge others that are still in the flesh, but they weren't anything good. And let me tell y'all out there, do not put a God above you, because they're not gods. They're just puffed up, prideful beings that think they're something. They over-glorify themselves. And that's what I say. And that's what I know. I'm not paranoid. but I know I'm watched.